Hey guys, so I had gotten a Bridgeport about 2 years ago, my 65 Bridgeport, and one of the things that I got with the Bridgeport was this set of ultra thin parallels. And while these are thin and they don't weigh much by themselves, you know, when you add them all up, they're pretty heavy, and they came in this this flimsy plastic case over here, which was already cracked and someone had taped it up. So what I did was I went ahead and I took some cut-offs. This is the 1/2-inch cabinet grade plywood, and I just cut it to size and routed it, put a little curve on the edge, and fitted it so it would fit this package right in here and hold it. So so now I can go ahead and set the parallels up and not worry about having it fall apart. It's pretty sturdy. I was going to put a bottom on it, and I still might, but for now it seems really fine just like this. So that's one of my my little shop tips as far as organization and fixing stuff up. So now I could just put this on my toolbox and go. Good set, made in America apparently. Hey guys, so there you have it. I was able to stick the front sticker back on. It's popping off a little bit, but I can go ahead and just put a piece of tape over it. That'll be fine. Eventually I can make another sticker. It looks like I'm missing 5 parallels, but at least I got most of them. They might be laying around in the back, but in any case, I think it was probably a little bit cheaper than buying a new set. And even if I bought a new set, probably would have came in the same crappy plastic box. So at least you know, they're organized. I can find them and I could use them if I need to. Okay guys, power strips. So always using power strips for everything. Never have enough plugs. And the power strips are always hanging on the ground where there's crap falling on them, falling in them, whether it be wood chips or metal chips, some kind of chips. And you know, of course, it's you have to bend all the way down to turn it on and off. So I went ahead and made a couple of these. It's just some 1/2-inch ply. Got to give it another coat, but this is the French cleat. You mount that on the wall like this. Then you take this part and you just slide it right over and it locks in place. And you mount your power strip to that. And there it is. It's right there for you to use. You can put it at waist level or higher, so it's always accessible. Of course, you can always easily plug things into it rather than have it being on the ground and you're trying to find it or digging out from a pile of junk. And the switch is always right there for you as well. I've done 5 or 6 of them like this. They stay on the wall. Works perfect. Another little shop trick for you. Here's another little organizational tip. Your calipers. They're always either on your desk, you got them covered with stuff, or you can't find them. You never know where you put them because you got too much junk laying around. So on the 3D plastic printer, I printed out these. They hold your caliper. And then what I did was I just cut some wood out. I did a little fancy. I put my little logo there. Bolted these to the piece of wood, and on the back inset some magnets. So this way you could just take it, put it on your toolbox vertically like that. The magnet holds it up. You put your caliper in there. It's got a little lip on it so the caliper can't fall out. It's in there. And these are tested by me, and believe it, they just stay up there. And you can always find your caliper. You always know where you put it. It's not getting damaged because there's heavy objects on top of it. It's not buried under a pile of junk. So you know where it is, you know how to do it, and there you go. These plans are available on the interwebs. Matter of fact, if you'd like, I'll put a link At the bottom of this video, showing you where you could download these from Thingiverse. That should help a little bit too. Here's my mobile monitor. So when I'm shooting a YouTube video, or any kind of video for that matter, I have a lot of issues trying to focus the video in properly. And although I do have a small monitor on my camera, my video recording camera, it's kind of hard to see, especially if the camera's up at a weird angle. I'm trying to film down on a machine or on the workbench. I really can't. Even though the little monitor tilts and swivels, it's still tough to look at and see. So what I did was I repurposed this. This is an old, just an old LCD, a Dell. It's not HDMI by any stretch. It just has a VGA input. That's the bluish purple input, like a DIN type connector, and it also has the digital input connector, which is the white connector, and it's got a few more pins. I honestly don't really know what the difference is. I think it's a higher quality input than the VGA, but it's definitely not HD, but that's fine. So a lot of guys are mounting these to the wall or making some kind of a big stand for it. I don't really like that. I like it to be right next to me, so I can really look at it and see what's going on. So what I did was I'm going to move your mobile here a little bit. I repurposed a microphone stand. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a musician too. So I took a mic stand, and I just, for this particular moment, I just kind of wire tied it. It's an extra mic stand. I don't use it, so I wire tied the frame of the monitor, or the stand portion of the monitor, right to the mic stand. And to be quite honest, I would have built, and I'm still considering on building like a clamp that I could clamp the monitor to the stand. But in all reality, this monitor is like super heavy. So I'm afraid it's, at some point it's going to topple over. So I kind of keep the stand all the way as short as it could possibly be. Eventually I'll try to find a newer monitor, and then once I find a newer monitor, I'll go ahead and make some kind of a clamp for that, because this one does have that the square in the back with the 4 holes. So that's kind of a universal mount, but I notice a lot of the newer monitors don't have that. I think they call that a Visa mount. But that's a pretty cool shot, actually, where you kind of can zoom in on your zoom in. That's pretty wild. But this thing comes in great handy, and I can just pick it up and move it over to whatever machine I'm working at and keep it close to me. So definitely I recommend something like this for you guys. It's honestly, it helps me quite a bit with my videos. So we're at the 66 Bridgeport, and in a recent video I just went ahead and fixed the head was locked up. I don't know if you guys watched that video, but if you haven't, checked that out. That's a pretty cool video of the head just wouldn't turn. But now this machine, when I got it, it actually came with a giant gear fed power table and the motor. And I honestly I didn't like it, because it's that thing was really super heavy. It took up a lot of real estate on the right side of the mill. So I had purchased, I don't know, it was on eBay somewhere. I purchased this actually, the whole assembly, the handle assembly, and all the associated parts, to convert it back to a hand wheel. So that's what I was going to do. And then I guess what I didn't have was I didn't have a knowledge of how the lead screw looked on the right side, because if you're not aware, the lead screw on the left of the Bridgeport is different than the lead screw on the right. I mean, it's one lead screw, but the ends are configured differently. I think there's a single bearing on one side and a double bearing on the other. And since I really didn't have anything to go by, I just didn't want to cut it. And I asked a couple guys if they knew what the difference was, and everybody knew there was a difference, but they didn't know the dimensions and such. So long story short, my buddy Tommy, he had a bunch of lead screws laying around, so he actually gave me a lead screw for this. I believe is the 36-inch table. He gave me a standard lead screw that has handles on both sides, and that's what I'm going to do now. Is I'm just going to take this lead screw out, put it on the side, and I'm going to put the standard lead screw in this machine. And also what I did was, let me just slide the camera over, was I purchased 2 power feeds off of eBay. Brand new, they're servo clones, the Chinese power feeds. So look for that in an upcoming video. I'm going to go ahead and I understand that some things have to be kind of modified to get them to work properly, whether you have to make bushings or such. But we're going to go ahead and pull out that lead screw and swap it for the regular style. And I know I did get this lead screw used, and there is a little bit of wear in it. You know, now with the DRO and such, it's not really super concerned if I have a little backlash. At least it'll get to me where I need to be. Quite frankly, I was going to order a lead screw, a brand new one. It seemed like they had every size lead screw except for a 36 in stock. So in the meantime, I found the used one, so I'm going to go ahead and use that for now. Here is a recent tool grab I was able to make. It is a R8 Bridgeport, made by Bridgeport, quick change tool system. Some people have told me this was actually made by Ericsson, which is another good quality tool maker, and it was labeled Bridgeport, by Bridgeport. So possibly it was made by Ericsson, sold by Bridgeport under the Bridgeport name. So I guess you guys know that I've been working on some CNC machines, and 2 of the machines I have the Ericsson 30 taper, which is a quick change. The third one is it actually has the R8 collet. So I figured I'd grab this so I could kind of use it for that particular machine. And Mr. Pete had done a video on another Bridgeport quick change that was similar to this. But this will be great because you know, you can make a tool library, set your tool heights, put it in whatever CAD program you're using, and then they just the 30 tapers just pop in, and then you actually use a drill chuck key to lock it into place, and that's it. So every time you go ahead and change tooling, you know, it's exactly the same height. So it looks like a nice deal. And it came with 9 quick inserts. I understand also you can get the quick inserts that have the drill chuck, you know, for the Jacobs, or you know, whatever fly cutter, whatever kind of cutters you want to put in here, you could put. So that's seemed like a pretty nice get. Okay, guys, here we're at the 1956 Bridgeport, and here is our R8 Bridgeport quick change tooling adapter. So we just insert this into the spindle, tighten our drawbar down, and then we go ahead and locate where it fits in, and we just tighten it right up with our drill chuck key, and there you go, you're off and ready to go. Let's see how long it takes to change the tooling. That's quite a bit better than having to loosen the drawbar. Tap it, tap the collet out, and put it back in. So once again, it's out. Here's another one, larger one. Done deal. So, super quick, super repeatable. This will work great on the CNC machine. Okay guys, a couple other little things that I grabbed. First off, I was able to grab this little Criterion boring head. I know it's really nothing out of the ordinary, but it's nice and small. Good for a nice little job. I have a couple larger boring heads, but never had a tiny one like this. And actually, I'm not sure what diameter boring bar it takes. Let me just turn my mic on here, caliper, and see. It takes a 1/2 inch. I was able to pick up a small variety of boring bars with it. So, you know, it doesn't have a great capacity, but it's small enough to get into, you know, small little jobs. It looks nice. We'll get some use out of it. Maybe I could be like Stefan and brace some carbide tips on there eventually. This is also another neat little thing. This is a quick change tapping head. So it's for a Morris, I think this is a Morris 1 taper. My lathes aren't that small, but I'm sure I could get like a taper adapter to fit on there. And I also got a variety of tap holders to go along with it in various sizes. So how that works is you actually get this guy locked into place here, and then whatever tap you want to use, you just insert it and it locks. It's kind of like one of those locks on a piece of PEX pipe or a John Guest fitting for the plastic. You actually have to press it in to release your tap. And it's all automatic. So as soon as you you get the tap started, as soon as you start pulling it back, it disengages, so it doesn't ruin your tap. So that was another nice little get. And then finally, I love these old Jacobs drill chucks, especially the stainless steel ones. The old, I don't know if you realize or not, but now they're not made in America anymore. They're made in China. So whenever I see a nice one, made in America, older one, I'll grab it. So those are my tool gets for the week, or for the month, or since my last video that I made. But those are some of the... Oh, I do have one more tool I could show you. Which I like more. Actual machining or collecting the tools. I've been looking for a decent fly cutter. I haven't seen anything used floating around. I really wanted... This is a high-speed steel. I really wanted one that was carbide inserts, but I couldn't find one. So I think I ended up buying this. This is new on eBay. It's a Chinese or import. And I'll just take a one of my lathe carbide insert and I'll put that in there for now. So we could get that. Oh, and I did want to give you, I have a tool fail. So I purchased a R8. Okay, here it is. It's a R8 slitting saw. And I used this thing once. And I cannot get this this hex bolt, or the screw that holds this together. So I guess I'm going to perform surgery, drill this out. But brand new, used one time. I don't know if that wasn't hardened or what. You know, I do have metrics hex keys, so I wasn't trying to jimmy it open with a imperial hex key. Had the right size, and still I could not get it open. So I don't know. This is a giant fail for me. I think I paid like $50 for it. It's totally worthless. All right, guys. That concludes this episode of What's Happening at the Workshop. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what I'm doing here at the workshop. And periodically I'll be back to show you what's new and what's happening and what I got going on. So I hope you guys are having fun in your workshop. I hope you guys are building stuff. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.